So the 6 principles which favor devotional service, which help us to practice Krishna consciousness. So in that, now we are going to discuss Sangha Tyaga, abandoning the association of non-devotees. So while giving these classes, recently I was feeling that although I am just giving these classes, but actually I am not following all these principles properly myself. All the Upadeshamrit, whatever this 24 principles which are discussed, I myself am very far away from following properly. So I request all the devotees to pray that I can follow these principles myself properly. Then only speaking them will have any effect for myself. Otherwise, it will be just a ritual of speaking, collecting some information and uh, telling or sharing. So all the while I have been just doing so that it can be told, not in the mood of applying it myself. So I understood that it is more important that I think about applying these things for myself rather than thinking about, in the sense, I should worry about that also, about explaining, but more important is personal application. So these principles which we are discussing, actually the 6 Goswamis, especially the Rupa Goswami, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno, after studying all the Vedic literatures, he has given us the most important principles by which we can make spiritual advancement. So we should be ever eternally be grateful to our acharyas for giving those principles, and we should take this very seriously in our life, in our spiritual life, because they have given after a lot of hard work for all of us. And if you take these principles seriously, contemplate on how to apply them, and actually applying them, then we'll surely make spiritual advancement. The problem with conditioned souls in hearing is they may hear only for the sake of hearing. That is also one conditioning, ritualistically, because I'm in Bhakti Shastri or I am supposed to hear. So that way also, yeah, definitely one will make some advancement. But actually, if someone is hearing so that he or she can very seriously apply those principles, contemplating on where I am not applying them, where I can apply, what should I do to improve, then surely we can make a lot of advancement. Otherwise, just hearing ritualistically definitely will purify our heart to some degree, but Krishna will be more pleased with our endeavors to apply them, taking it to heart. So I request that all devotees can try to contemplate on the subject matter, not only in the class, but after the class in day-to-day life in various situations. And at the same time, as I requested, pray for me also. So here in the purport for this particular Sangatyagat, Prabhupada is mentioning that in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. So in the previous verse, Janasangha we discussed, but that is different types of materialistic people. There we discussed 3 types, moralists and all those things. But here it is little different. Here it is specific to some materialistic different type of people. So Prabhupada says this includes the karmis, jnanis, yogis and other non-devotees. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked by a devotee, who is a devotee? He said, Asas Sangha Tyaga Evaishnava Achar. Who gives up the association of Asat Sangha, who drag us away from Krishna, who take us away from Krishna. So we should hanker for those who can take us towards Krishna, but we should avoid those who take us away from Krishna. So that is a principle. So a devotee should always hanker to be in the association of devotees. As Narottam Das Thakur has mentioned, Tandera Charana Se Bhakta Sanivas. To always stay in the association of devotees and serve them. Charana Sevi means not just taking the dust, to serve them, to serve the devotees and stay in the mood of servant of servant. So Prabhupada also says, if one lives in the association of devotees, there is little chance of associating with non-devotees. Yeah, like if you are always in the association, at least physically, there is no association with non-devotees, right? Except our mind. Mind, as it is said, it is the greatest non-devotee, right? So a devotee should always be hankering to stay or get the association of devotees. So if we hanker, then Krishna will provide. So whatever is our desire, Krishna fulfills according to the intensity of our desire. When we want to become Krishna conscious, Krishna arranges devotees in our life. Same way when we hanker, like Narottam Das Thakur sings in various songs. In this song, Se Sangha Na Paya Kande, Narottama Das, in that song, and various other songs. In Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Karo More, in that also at the end, Doya Karo Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas, Ramachandra Sangamage, Narottama Das. So he is always hankering for the association of devotees. Actually, not only those devotees who are physically present, but he is also hankering for the devotees who actually left this world, who disappeared from this world. Because he has that faith that these are eternal personalities and one can always get their association through Vani, through their blessings, like that. So Prabhupada is telling this ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, it has been opened to invite people to live in the company of devotees and practice the regulative principles of spiritual life. So ISKCON centers are like Vaikuntha, Prabhupada said. They are like Vaikuntha in this material world. So we can feel it also when we are in the material world amongst the non-devotees. There is more material misery, in the sense that can be experienced. The 3 modes of material nature are very strong, especially the modes of passion and ignorance. But when you come to temple or we come to the association of devotees, where they are constantly chanting the glories, then we can see how we can transcend these three modes completely in the association of devotees. So by Prabhupada's mercy, we are getting this association. Only thing is we have to take advantage of that association. So that is how we can come out of. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came in the mood of a devotee to teach all of us how we should be, how we should deal with each other and deal with others, various type of people. So we see how as a sannyasi, he was very, very strict in avoiding bad association. So when devotees suggested him to meet King Prataprudra, he was rejecting completely. He said he's a Vishayi. How can I associate? So the Vishayi has the Visha, the poison of sense gratification. So by associating with him, this poison can enter our hearts. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't want to associate. So later on, actually, he actually was asked again by devotees that can you please meet him. That time he said, if you too much push me, I will leave Jagannath Puri and go away. So he was so rigid. So devotees, they feared to ask him again. But because he was serving, our Prataprudra king was serving Vaishnavas, so finally he allowed in various ways to get mercy. In the sense, once he gave the chadar of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Angavastra, and once he embraced the son of King Prataprudra, like that. Anyway, that is a different thing. But from that incident, we can understand how he was very, very strict. And once with Raghunath Das Goswami, when he met, so he was joking with him and saying that actually their father and uncle were very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family. I think their grandfather and all. So, but he said they are living in a family life. Means they were, he said they were only pious materialists, not proper Vaishnavas. So he said that family life where one remains like a pious materialist is like a pit where one passes to. So, and he glorified Raghunath Das Goswami for renouncing all that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he meant to say is that one should not remain just a pious materialist. In the sense, sometimes,